Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube video ever, so welcome. I am going to be a character attendant at Walt Disney World for Spring 2020, the Disney College Program. So I just wanted to explain to you my application process, what it was like, my phone interview, how I became a character attendant, and just some little details. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that I did on my application is obviously you're allowed to put 5 work experiences. So this doesn't necessarily have to be something that an actual job where you got paid at, because I know a lot of people going into the application process, this was the first job, or well, this is going to be the first job that they will ever have. So a lot of people get discouraged because they think, oh, well, Disney's not going to hire me because I don't have any work experience. And that's not necessarily true, because even if you volunteered or babysat or have done something of that sort, you can put it in your work experience. It doesn't have to be something where it was like a paid job. I've actually known a couple people who have gotten into the program, and this is like the first real job that they've had. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that you've had all this work experience and that's the only way you're going to get in, because that's just simply not true. I have heard this from multiple different alumni that you should use the words safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency on your application. You don't necessarily have to do this, but I'm over the top as a human being, so of course I did it. I just kind of integrated it in with my work experience section, because so you say what you did and then you can either put bullet points or paragraphs explaining your job duties. And I did mine in paragraphs. I have heard of other people doing bullet points. I really don't think it makes a difference. But yeah, so I just kind of smoothed those into my application, and it ended up working out really great, clearly. So make sure you read things through too, because I know when I went through my application and I reread it, there were a couple mistakes, so I had to go through and fix those and make sure that they were corrected before I submitted my application. When the day of application dropped, when the applications drop is what I meant to say, a lot of people are going to be up early in the morning and they're going to be waiting for those applications to drop. And I mean, I was excited, so of course I was up early in the morning and I applied the day that they came out. But you don't have to. Don't let other people think that you have to, because you simply don't. It's not the case. I've heard of people getting in when they applied the first day, and I have also heard of people getting in and they applied on the very last day. So it really, I don't know the algorithm that the recruiters use. I have no idea. But I just know that I was very eager and I applied the very first day. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit. Sorry if I keep looking down. I have a little journal here with all of my things that I want to talk about on here. So this is basically how the application process works. So you go online, you apply for the program, you submit your application, and then you are an application received. And you can stay here for a short amount of time and get a web-based interview right away, or you could stay here for a couple weeks or a couple months. It really just depends. I can't tell you what it depends on because I don't know. And if you get stuck in application received for the entire program and then just end up getting no longer in consideration, I mean, that's really unfortunate. I have heard of that happening to some people. But, so I was in application received for 2 weeks. I turned in my application the first day. I waited and waited and waited, and still nothing happened. I was waiting for my web-based interview, and still nothing happened. And then 2 weeks later, I finally got it. So my biggest thing that I did wrong this season is that I relied too heavily on the Facebook groups or people saying when I should have my web-based interview or how long it should take. Everyone has a different story it's going to take a different amount of time for everyone. I know that's really cheesy to say, but truthfully, like, no one's journey is the same in the Disney College program. And it's really hard when you see people on the Facebook page getting pushed for a web-based interview right away. Like, that's really difficult to see. I will not lie. I got very upset and I was like, oh, I'm not going to get in because I didn't get a web-based interview right away. And I know so many people who got them right away. That's not the case. Like, I know so many people who got web-based interviews on the very last day that they were able to get web-based interviews who got in, and they were perfectly fine. Like, and I know it's harder to go through it than it is for me to tell you that it's going to be okay, because I was there. Like, I know I was stuck there for 2 weeks. It really stinks being stuck in application received for a really long time. I mean, I could have been stuck there for longer, but it's, like I said, don't compare yourself to other people because your journey is going to be different than the person next to you. So just take the things that people say on those groups with a grain of salt, because, I mean, yes, sometimes some of them are alumni, and some of them do know a lot more things than you might, or something like that, but still, like, everyone's application is different, everyone is different, it's just different. So yeah, I was in application received for 2 weeks, and then I did my web-based interview, and after your web-based interview, it's basically a personality test to see if you would be compatible for working at Disney. So after my web-based interview, I had my phone interview, and I will talk a little bit more about the phone interview in a second here. And then 10 days later, after my phone interview, I was accepted. So I was accepted as a character attendant. So basically, if you don't know what a character attendant is a character attendant is a character attendant basically is the person who wears like the blue t-shirts and the khakis, and they walk around with the characters from one location to another sometimes, or they could just be stationed in the indoor locations with the characters. I mean, I'm still learning too. Obviously, I haven't gotten to my program yet, but they just are in charge of the safety of the character performers, making sure that everything goes smoothly. They also keep time to make sure that they can close the lines and give those character performers the right amount of notice before closing, and tell them when their last group is and all that jazz. So it's a lot of multitasking from what I've heard. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I literally have not been there yet, so I have no idea what to expect. I have watched a lot of videos though, so that has helped. Yeah, so now we are going to talk about the phone interviews, but first I just remembered something. So I have watched a lot of character attendant videos online, and I mean a lot. And I think the biggest misunderstanding within the people who have said things about character attendants is that they only hire character attendants if you're an alumni, which means, you know, you've done the program again and you're coming back for a second program. I mean, clearly that's not true, because I am a first-timer for the Disney College program, and I got a spot as a character attendant. Disney chooses you for a reason. They choose your role for a reason, because that is what they think you will do best at. Truthfully, like, seriously, that is what they think you will thrive in, and they have insight and they know whose personality will be good where. So that's just, if you hear people saying that, I don't think that's true, because obviously I'm not an alumni and I got a position as a character attendant. Is it maybe a little bit harder to get a position as a character attendant? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to say that it is or that it's not, but I mean, from what I've heard, people say that it's very difficult to get and that they only give it to alumni, but I mean, like I said, I'm not an alumni. That's not the case, so I have no idea. But yeah. Okay. So, phone interviews. The biggest advice that I can give you for the phone interviews is to, hold on, I should fix my hair. The biggest advice I can give you for phone interviews is to just breathe. I know how anxious I was when I went to go answer that phone. I was in a study room at my university in the library, and I had my ears on, I had this shirt on, my Minnie Mouse leggings, like I was all decked out. And so the first thing I did before I answered the phone was I took a deep breath, and then I just answered, and I said, "Hello, this is Sarah." Like, I answered it in the most ecstatic, enthusiastic voice I think I've ever done in my life. But you don't want to sound fake, too. You want to sound genuine. And I genuinely was that excited. I was so excited to talk to the recruiter on the phone. Was I very nervous? Absolutely. But it was such a fun experience. Like, a lot of people get so anxious leading up to their phone interview because they think it's going to be super hard and they think that there's going to be a lot of pressure, but really it's just like a conversation that you're having with another human being on the phone. It's super laid back, super chill. I mean, yeah, so the character attendant question that I was asked, for those of you who are interested in being a character attendant, is, I mean, there was a couple of them. I didn't record my phone interview, but there was a couple of them. One of them was, if you were attending a character and there was a child or an adult who was apprehensive on seeing the character, how would you help them out? And I kind of butchered the character attendant question, not gonna lie, but this is what I said. So I said, okay, well, I would get down on the child's level, or I would show them it's okay to meet the character by, like, giving them a high five or giving them a hug or something of that sort. And then if the child was still apprehensive, or the adult, I would maybe offer to hold their hand or lead them to where the character is and just kind of alleviate that pressure between them. Obviously, it sounds a lot better than I'm saying it now, but I was kind of stuttering because I was on the phone and I was anxious, but I had Bradley as a interviewer, and he was super chill, super laid back, very, very kind. But yeah, so, and then at the end of my interview, I requested Magic Kingdom as my location, and I don't leave for another month still, so I'm not really sure if I will be having Magic Kingdom as my location. But yeah, you really just have to show lots of interest and be passionate in your phone interview. I know I definitely did. If this is something that you truly want, Disney will see that, and they will be able to recognize that you are extremely passionate about this. Not only that, but Disney knows your time. Like, if you are supposed to work there, they know that, and they will be able to get you to where you need to be. As cheesy as that sounds, but in the next month, I will be packing up my things, and I will maybe record a video about the things that I'm bringing down with me, and a little more information about my program. So I just wanted to record one opening video just to kind of see how this goes and help you guys out. If you have any questions, you can totally ask them in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I would love to hear from you guys. So I just want to be able to help you out in your upcoming DCP journey if that's what you have in mind. So have a magical day.